Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I hope you're having an amazing day. And we're going to take a look here at Enjin. Just before we do, always look at Bitcoin first, get a baseline of the market. And if you are new to the channel, just know this is for educational purposes only, but I have years of trading experience and I can assure you you are in good hands. My goal is to always help you become more of a profitable trader, more self-sufficient as well, right? So the whole key here is to make sure that you can do this on your own eventually, right? Now, if you would like a leg up, of course, check out my Patreon community, have a Signal group, as well as a trading community where we all share our thoughts, grow, and learn together, and the whole process is really awesome. But I share all my trades with my community members, and I have no shame in letting you know I average about 80-85% success rate doing what we're going to see here today, day in and day out. Okay, so let's check it out. Now, looking at Bitcoin, first things first. I need to preface here in the simple fact that we broke the resistance channel here, right? So right between 63,600 and 65, we broke to the upside here today, okay? So today was a good day for Bitcoin. You can see it kind of come upwards of about 5% on the day. But again, we're a bit on the overextended side. So my personal opinion here for Bitcoin, based on the fact that we have so much exhaustion here and we haven't had a correction since, what is it, September 30th, I think it was. That was essentially the lowest point, right around 40,000, and literally the price has gone up ever since then. And as we can see on TD sequential, we got a 9 from yesterday. So today we are essentially in overtime. I wouldn't be surprised if we see tomorrow or Friday a nice retracement. And when I say nice, I just mean the fact that it comes down to a next major support level, holds, and then ramps back up to 100,000. Okay, so I think it's very likely we'll see six figures from Bitcoin this year, but we need to see some kind of correction soon, or is it going to explode? Because there's no way that it can just keep going up forever, right? That's a natural law of trading. It has to come down eventually. I think we're due. Honestly, I personally feel like that we're due. So just keep that in mind. Try not to get overconfident right now. Not that you got to sell all your positions. Just keep in mind Bitcoin will likely retrace somewhat in the near future. That has to happen. Moving on to Enjin. Let's take a look here at the one-day chart to quickly identify moving averages. We broke through both moving averages today. Awesome. So those were essentially resistance levels going into the day, and now it's essentially considered support. Furthermore, see, it looks like 0.618 here. I'll go ahead and check Fibonacci, but it does look like we're kind of hovering around support right there based on the normal channels there for Fibonacci. Could be 382 as well here down below, but let's take a look. Let's go ahead and mark that and see. So pull this up here. Yeah, price consolidating right there at 618. So I'm going to speculate that's going to be the resistance here moving forward. We got 4 minutes left in this trading cycle. So just go ahead and mark that resistance level for us. And we'll go ahead and mark 318 as well. Or sorry, 382. I would say 318. 382 as the next major support. Okay. And of course, 0.5 is a good one as well, but we don't want to have too many lines on the chart. I think we're going to see a support and resistance channel here between what, right around 173, upwards of 182, 183. Let's just say 183. So 173 to 183 is essentially the channel right now, more so a support channel, but it could be held out right here with that as a resistance. We'll see soon. So either way, all in all, still looking good because, of course, the percent here for today, so we can see from bottom to top is a 26% growth, but we're still up 15% from its open, so that's really good news. So all in all, fairly good shape here for Enjin. I love the fact that RSI is under 70, but over 50. You can kind of see it working as a support level here as well. I don't know if you know this, but 50 on the RSI is a pretty common support level where it kind of holds the price above or below. As you can kind of see, it's worked previously above or below, but now that we're above essentially, or we're staying above, it's still considered bullish momentum, bullish convergence essentially, where the price is going to be trending upwards, or at least have more propensity to do so. We can also see a bounce here on the MACD as well, where the price did not essentially become bearish divergence. It's still bullish. So all in all, very good shape here for Enjin. I think we're going to probably see a continuation to the upside. We also have a resistance level here as well we want to be aware of, right at about 2.20, 2.2. $2.20 is essentially the next major resistance. All right, so let's go ahead and move on to the 4-hour chart and kind of take a quick look here, see what's going on. You can see the price kind of touching right here to $1.83, so that could very well be a support level as well. We're going to have to see in the next 12 hours how that forms, but generally speaking, this could and should still continue to be a nice support channel, again, between 173 and 183. The price holds above both these two lines. We're going to be in pretty good shape to see probably some consolidation first and then a ramp up. But you got to keep this in mind too. This was a pretty significant 8-hour period. So it needs to kind of go sideways for a little while in order to avoid retracing significantly. Obviously, we saw a retracement here, but that makes sense considering it's up over 20%. Oftentimes when we see that, we see the price come back down to kind of test the next major support, which was the previous resistance level. And that's what we're seeing here right now with 183. So we'll find out here soon what happens with that. But all in all, 4-hour chart's looking pretty good. I like the RSI's calling back down. We did have a MACD convergence for obvious reasons at 5 a.m. That was this candlestick here. So we can just mark that really quick because I like to see if there's a correlation on the 1-hour chart. I always try to identify this because to me it's perfect storm, essentially double rainbow, whatever you want to put in there, whatever you want to insert. It's essentially the best of both worlds, right? So if you're new to trading, get used to looking at the MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart. I can tell you it's probably the best indicator you could utilize to kind of help you understand that there's a shift in momentum from bearish to bullish, right? That shift in momentum essentially helps us understand the fact that the bulls are in control, and if you're going to go long, which most people do, buy low, sell high, then you want to be on board with them, right? So being a good trader isn't about like being able to figure out what's going to happen next. It's about knowing what the actual whales are going to be doing, the people that actually have the money to move the market up. Because people like you and I, we're not adjusting the market by much. It's a small percentage. That's why you see the weekends, we have more of an effect than the weekdays because we're not actively trading during the weekdays as much as the whales are. Anyways, regardless, let's take a look at the 1-hour chart. We'll see what's going on here. Okay. So turn on the Ichimoku cloud. We'll see price broke above. Look at that double rainbow, just as I expected. And this happens a lot with MACD convergences. So in other words, when you got a MACD convergence on the 4-hour chart, the 12 is intersecting with the 26 in upward fashion. That's basically what it is. They're exponential moving averages, giving us indications of a buy signal, right? That shift in momentum. We look at the 1-hour chart here on Ichimoku cloud, and almost always we see a correlation where the price breaks above the cloud shortly after or just before. Now, when the cloud doesn't match up with the 4-hour chart on the MACD convergence, that's when I get a little leery. I like to have both because that's like a perfect storm, right? And you're kind of, increasing your odds, so to speak. You're doubling down in the right direction. So that being said, if you're new to just say trading in general or Ichimoku cloud, right? It's really just as simple as this. When the price breaks above the cloud, it's considered a buy signal. When the price breaks below the cloud, it's considered a sell signal, right? So we can see this little state of consolidation doesn't matter too much, but just say in retrospect hindsight, you would have got in right here. That would have been a decent little percent of somewhere in the range of 8%. And by the way, anything over 3% is awesome. Now that sounds crazy and weird because you're all so used to, these mooners out there that have to try to sell you on a really great big profit. Yes, there's potential for that, but there's so much freaking money to be made with small percentages throughout the day and throughout the week. So don't ever cut down or underestimate the power of a small percentage. If you're leveraging enough, not necessarily using leverage trading, just saying like, a capital of 5, 10, 15, 20, or 50,000, right? If you're using a capital like that, 1% is a significant gain. 2% is awesome. 3% is phenomenal. Those are great gains for me. I grow my portfolio a small percent every single day, and I'm perfectly fine by it because it pays all the bills and then some, right? It pays off the house. It does a lot of things that you can, control, but you got to have a good foundation first, right? You got to have a good system. So just be careful. Every time you take a trade, know or write it down where you're going to get out beforehand. Set those targets. Use a trading bot to effectively be able to control that. I have trading bots in my community where I share all of my trades, of course, and we average about 80-85% success rate. And the reason why is because I stick to a code and I honor a system, right? I buy low, sell high, buy high, sell short. Honestly, there's a lot of different ways you can do it. But the key takeaway here is what we're looking at. Those are things that I always have to check off the list before I get in. And when I get in, I damn well have at least 3 profit targets and a trailing stop loss that adjusts higher as I hit my targets. So I'm always profitable no matter what. Even if I just barely hit profit target 1 and get stopped out, it's still a gain, right? Because I'm going with an 80-10-10 or a 70-15-15. It'll make more sense, obviously, if we communicate later. Feel free to message me if you're interested in checking that out. But the bottom line here is that we are overextended for ENJ. And obviously, we need to see some consolidation here right around 183. That's what it's doing. But if it drops below, don't get too upset or concerned because honestly, we have a next major support level about 173. Let's take a quick look at TD sequential, see where we're at. I think I already identified this earlier, but generally speaking, we're at a 1 now on the retracement. Therefore, we could possibly see about 7, 8, maybe even 9 hours worth of consolidation or retracement. So don't be concerned again, or well, Obviously, you can concern yourself, but don't be surprised the price continues to come down because it needs to. It's that natural law of trading. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking at here. Not much else to extract, honestly, without getting wordy. Let's just go ahead and go with the prediction and call it a day. So big picture, ultimately, ENJ has tremendous potential, right? We look back here in March, fantastic. But even better in April. So keep this in mind. ENJ was topping the charts for itself at is that 390? Yeah, pretty much, we can just round up and say $4, right? So $4 it hit on April, what is that? April 9th. Now Bitcoin was hovering around 60 to 64,000 at that time. Where's Bitcoin right now? 60 to 66,000, right? It's much higher. Therefore, does it have potential to get back where it was at before? Absolutely yes. Once we see this altcoin season transition and we start seeing Ethereum, the large market cap coins come first, ENJ is not far off, right? So ENJ has a good potential to take off in the near future, I feel, just based on its market capitalization and its history of doing very well when Bitcoin does well. It's starting to take off, but we don't have enough of that dominance, right? Because Bitcoin, by the way, Bitcoin dominance is still very high. And if we look at this here, you can see that Bitcoin is still extremely high in dominance. So if that number can come down, just say to what, 40, somewhere between 40 and 44, then we're going to be in really good shape to start seeing some altcoins take off, because all the new money coming in the market is going straight to Bitcoin right now, right? It's like, it's all the rage. It's in the news, ETFs, everything's out there. So if we see that and understand that and know that, once the money transitions away from Bitcoin and starts going into these other altcoins, especially coins like this, like ENJ that have strong fundamentals, then I would, I think it's pretty safe to presume that we're going to see that up here, right? So it has strong potential. So don't feel like you're late to the party. 183 is still a very good value. I think 2 to 3x is very likely within the next 3 to 6 months. Okay. So again, alt season, it may not start right away, but it's going to start soon, right? Pay attention to how independent certain coins get. Ethereum will be the first one to take off independent of Bitcoin. Once that happens, we know altcoin season has essentially started, and then large market cap coins also start to take off, followed by some mid to low cap coins. Anyways, I've ranted and raved enough. My prediction here is that ENJ will 2x to 3x within the next 3 to 6 months. I think that's pretty safe to say. But in the near future, I would say the next 2 to 4 weeks, it's going to kind of work within this channel here of where it's at presently, upwards of about 220. Okay, so it'll kind of be in this range here. But once it breaks 220, look out. It'll probably start making some, a lot higher highs and higher lows and make its way on up to the top. So I hope you found benefit here today. If you do, like and subscribe. If you don't, that's okay too. Totally understand. It's not for everyone. And if you are interested in perhaps getting a leg up, having somebody like me on your side, and being part of something special, check that out in your own time. Link in the description below. CryptoCache Premium is the title that I gave it, and that is essentially a really cool trading community. Thank you so much for your time. We'll see you in the next video. Have a great one. Take care.